Just wanted to do a quick video here to show off this new server case that I recently purchased from Alibaba, not from Express this time, but from Alibaba. I will have the seller's information linked in the description because overall I'm really happy with how the case turned out. So this is one of the Lian Li folding cases. So at the bottom here there are 3 hinges on the front and back. So the front folds up, the back folds up. Then when assembling it on the sides you do have to screw in these 4 screws. So each side has 4 screws to hold the sides together, and now that it's assembled, it's really nice and solid. You do put the lid on and it stays together really well. It's probably maybe, let's say, 15% less strong than the pre-assembled ones, but the shipping was quite a bit cheaper. They quoted about $250 for normal shipping, basically if you buy it pre-assembled, or about $190 for the basically the smaller shipping container if you basically have to assemble it yourself. And they'll have photos online basically showing what it looks like unassembled, but it was very straightforward to put together. The sides folded up, you screwed on, again you had 4 screws on each side, and it went together really well. But other than that, what is included is you have an 8 GPU riserless motherboard. 65mm spacing is what I went with. Also comes with 8 cooling fans here. They are the Lian Li models. These ones here I think are rated for around 14-15 watts, something like that. They are really quiet, surprisingly. Of course, if you crank them to max speed, they will be quite a bit louder. But basically with the way I was running them, they were running nice and quiet, moving a pretty good amount of air, which I was really happy with. Also, the case that I chose to go with here had a fan controller on the front. Sorry about the shaky camera, but yeah, basically it had a fan controller, so you did have these 8 Lian Li fans all hooked up. Unfortunately, one of them did come defective, so I contacted the supplier already. They were really quick to respond. They basically just said when you order the next time, they'll just ship me an extra fan. So yeah, overall I was really happy with this seller's basically kind of performance. They were really quick to respond to any of my questions. I had a lot of questions, by the way, because I'd never ordered from Alibaba before, but they took the time to answer everything pretty thoroughly, so I was very happy with that as well. You do have a nice option to choose what kind of power supply you'll go with. I personally went with a 2500 watt just because when I asked them for basically the pricing quote between a 2000 and a 2500 watt, I think the price difference was only a couple dollars, and you're already spending, like I had to spend about $190 on shipping, $255 for the case US dollars. So I ended up paying, going to Canadian dollars now, all in around $630, $640 shipped to door, taxes, duties paid, everything in. So yeah, I was pretty happy. Again, motherboard, CPU, RAM, 4 gigs of memory, 64 gigabyte SSD, 8 fans, grills, case, everything that you're seeing here. Everything you need basically to run a case. No GPUs, of course. These are just my original ones from the previous case I had. I just wanted to confirm that every slot worked here. One thing you need to make note of is that it did not come with a CMOS battery just because it was shipped via air and stuff, so I don't think they can ship CMOS batteries, so you'll need to purchase that yourself. But yeah, as well, if you want larger power supplies, you can message them and ask them for a quote on a 3000 watt or a 3300 watt. I don't imagine it would really make sense to put anything larger than these kind of GPUs in here, and I currently have 3070s with a mix of 2060s and a 3060 in there as well. But yeah, I personally would not be putting 3080s in a 65mm spaced case. I would probably get something a little bit larger if you want to run something more power hungry. But the nice thing is they do have the power supply option. And yeah, it seems pretty efficient. I ran it I compared it to the previous case I had. It was pulling around the same amount of power at the same fan speeds. So yeah, overall I'm really happy with the case. And again, this does require 240 volt. But yeah, if you're curious and you want to get something like this yourself potentially, of course the Ethereum merge is coming, so I don't necessarily recommend buying a lot of parts for mining. But if you are looking for stuff to mine with, this is a really good option. Again, I'll leave the seller's contacts in the description. But yeah, again, this is just a review of an Alibaba case that I bought recently from Alibaba.